Today on In the Woodyard, we're doing some cleanup. It's time to get busy. So I've been emptying bins like a maniac over the last month or so. This bin is pretty much empty. All that's left in here is some smaller chunks, some odd chunks, some weird ones. There's some kindling size stuff in here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring over, I got a basket over there, IBC tote. I'm gonna bring it over here and we're gonna fill it up with all the odd stuff. I'm just gonna set it here, chuck all the odd stuff in here. And now I'm gonna start cutting apart these pallets and putting them in a pile so we can get rid of them and clean this all up. And I wanna do it because the ground has not froze yet, luckily. So I wanna start working on these empty bins. I've got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, I've got 4 bins that are empty right now. And I wanna start cleaning them all up and cutting down the sides, flipping the ends up, getting it off the ground, and then getting it so that when I get to scooping it up and hauling it away, it's all in one spot and the pallets aren't all froze to the ground, because if they freeze to the ground, you can get them up. But what happens is the boards on the bottom will stick. You pry them up and then you got nails sticking everywhere and it's just a mess. Plus a lot of these bins are rotten on the bottom. So basically they're all gonna be chucked, burned, gotten rid of. So I'm gonna start cutting these apart today. I've got about 2 hours before I have to go. And I figured I could get maybe this one done and maybe start on another one. I don't know, we'll see. Like Russ says, a little bit goes a long way if you do a little bit every day. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna start on it here and we'll see what we get done. So time to get cutting, folding, splitting, pulling, moving, and tossing chunks right now. All right, we got clowns to the left of me and jokers to the right. So what I did was I pulled out chunks, threw them into the basket, took out a bunch of small kindling pieces. They're all, 16 inches. There's probably a few more in there, but I tried to throw them out as I could. And then I pulled this up with the pitchfork here, just kind of got it in a pile. Put all of the pallets over here on this side. Surprisingly, this was down here, I think, 2 full years. Maybe even 2.5 years. Quite a while this bin was here. And surprisingly, a lot of the pallets are still good. There's a few of them that are rotten on the bottom, but they're still structurally strong enough that they'll stay up. So they might be used again. We'll let them dry out, obviously. I did put some boards underneath so that they won't freeze down to the ground. So I put a couple of chunks of wood in all 4 corners so the 2 piles we can get lifted up. These are just standing here because they're kind of odd ones. And see, I got this kind of cleaned up, and this will clean up pretty easily. We can use the tractor with the bucket to scoop this up. And so I'm just gonna leave this here. Gonna leave the kindling there, leave the basket there. And I think I'm gonna go start taking apart the next bin in the back there. I'm gonna start taking the walls down, full on. I still got about a half an hour left. I worked on this now for, I don't know, hour and 15 minutes, took me something like that. So not too bad. I'm wringing wet, sweating here because it's about 40 degrees and I've got too many clothes on. So that's kind of nice to have that cleaned up. Well, it's not totally cleaned up, but it's mostly done. Now it's the easy part. We can move these with the pallet forks, load them onto the trailer, and I can take them, or if Bert wants them, he can have them. And all this stuff here we'll either throw into the bin or I'll haul it away to the dump. And then chunks, he can have those and burn them. So it's probably a day's worth of burning there for him. So all odd sizes, nothing real big, just a bunch of little small ones and chunks and weird ones. So let's go start cutting apart the next one. So this bin here is the one that had all my mixed hardwood in. A lot of ash and maple, elm, locust, stuff like that. That was what was in here. This is a bigger bin. I think it's the same width. No, this is actually 1 more pallet wider. And I think it's 3 more pallets longer, so 50% bigger. So there's a lot more trash in here. This bin has been filled 3 times. We filled it, emptied it, filled it, emptied it, and then I emptied it, filled it, and we emptied it 1 more time. So I'm gonna start taking this one apart. I don't have time to get it all done, but I can get a good start on it. So first thing I'm gonna do is go grab a empty couple of totes. Probably 2 of them, I'll start with 1. I'll pull it over to that corner there because that's where a lot of the odd chunks. There's a lot of stuff like this. There's nothing wrong with this. It's just a little short. It's good enough for what I would do. There's some good stuff in here yet too, some full-size ones, and I'll throw those in a pile off to the side as I find them, because this I can still sell. There's some good stuff in here. Not a lot, but there's a few. And we'll start tearing this one apart. Hopefully I can get the sides cut down and fold it in anyway and start stacking them. That's the plan, so time to get to work. look at the mess I have created. So the main objective is done. I got the pallets off the ground because there was a lot of these. You can see how they're stuck into the mud, and in another week or two at the most, that's all going to be froze down. So I got those peeled up, put all the crappy ones. You can see there are a lot of busted up nasty ones here falling apart. That's what all this is. And then these ones over here, all the good ones, and those are mostly oak. So it goes to show you, if you can get oak pellets, they're the best. And I had the oak ones mostly on the ground. The side ones were pine and cottonwood and crappy stuff, nasty wood. And some of those are on the ground too, and they're all rotten. But this bin has been here the longest. This is like a 3-year-old bin. So we filled it 3 times. And so I won't worry about cleaning all this up. I can scrape all this up with the bucket. The main thing is I got all of the pallets off the ground. Now, I did find two prizes here. Right here, that is a woodchuck hole. See how round that is? See how that's how round it is? And he's got a bunch of stuff in there, all stuffed perfectly round. And there was another one right here. And actually, you can see all the dirt that they pushed up right there. So this was like a tunnel through here and then over to there. And the woodchucks, basically what they do is they dig their way and they shove the dirt out of the way wherever there's open spaces. So really what they do is they fill in your bottom of the pallets with the airflow where you want it. They eliminate that, and then the pallets are in contact with the ground, and those were the most rotten ones, where the ground was pushed up against the edge of the pallets. And you can see here, if you look close, if you look here, you can see the ridges, so how much they sunk into the ground. And those would have been all froze down very fast, like in the next, like I said, week or two. So that is done. I threw all the big chunks over here into this IBC tote, and then the bigger pieces that are 16 inches I tossed off to the side, because these I can still sell. There's some good ones in there, but there's a lot of odd ones in here, a lot of short ones, a lot of crooked ones, a lot of chunks, a lot of nasty ones. So that can be just used for boiler wood. And so we got that done. So now the next project obviously is get that raked up, get it picked up and hauled away. The other one that we did earlier, get that one done, and then get all these hauled away too. I might end up taking these all to the dump, throwing them in my dump trailer, all the rotten ones, and just take them to the dump and get rid of them. That way they're just gone, and get this cleaned up. So that was a big project, and I'm glad to have those off the ground. So I got 2 of the bins cleaned up. I've got 2 more bins that are pretty much empty, one that's totally empty, and that's got to be taken apart. And then I got some that are just partials, and I'll work on taking the sides down on those. And then as I clear room in the middle of them or on the edges, I'll start pulling those up off the ground over the next few days, hopefully, so I can get as many of them cleaned up as possible, because I don't want them froze down. I want to get this cleaned up, so in the spring there's not much to do. Hopefully it's clean by then. That's the plan anyway. So whew, I am sweating. My thong is wet. Whew. Yes, it is. That's all I got for today, folks. I'll see you tomorrow morning, 5:30 a.m. with another video. Right now, you're going to go watch all the other videos on my channel. If you want to see how these bins are built, I got videos on those. We got videos on splitting wood. We got videos on cutting wood. We got processor, wood splitters, chainsaw stuff. There's over 2,000 videos that you need to go see right now. See you tomorrow morning. Good night, everybody.